So the next thing we'll try to understand the NHRP protocol. Now, as I said already, the one of the protocol is multipoint GRE, which allows point to multipoint connections previously. The NHRP protocol is responsible for dynamically discovering the neighbors. So this is more like ARP protocol. Basically, it uses some messages. ARP protocol is like, let's say if I'm trying to communicate between 1.1 and 2.1 within my LAN, 1.1 and 1.2 within my LAN. Basically, this LAN only recognizes, the switch recognizes only the MAC. But when you are trying to communicate with IP, there must be something to resolve IP to MAC. And that is what the ARP protocol is going to do. So similar way, NHRP protocol is responsible for identifying the tunnel IP to NBMA address. So this is just like, let's say in this case, these are the public IPs. You can see these are the public IPs what we are using on the exit interfaces. And once we create a tunnel, we'll be having a tunnel IP. Now tunnel IP will be the WAN IP what you have decided to use. Like let's say I decided to use 192.168.1. network on my WAN. So technically we can say this is like a tunnel IP, and this public IP we generally in DMVPN terminology we call it as NBMA address. In a simple words we can say public address. The public IP means exit interface address. So which means now let's say this head office, according to routing table, let's say there is a 10 network is trying to communicate with 20 network here. Let's say the source address 10, destination is 20. Now the packet goes to the gateway and the router says go out of, what is the exit interface? Let's say tunnel interface. And the next stop is 192.168.1.2. So what's the next stop? The next stop is 192.168.1.2. So in order to ensure that this head office sends a packet to this address, but this is your private IP address or the tunnel IP address. So my router should know what is the equivalent public IP for that, right? What is the public IP based on this? So which means because when the packet is routed over the internet, you need to know the registered public IP here. So basically it has to send to 2.2.2.2 according to this tunnel diagram. Okay, so which means this head office router or the spokes, they should keep a track of what is the public IP on the remote side and what is the tunnel IP or the private IP mapped to that. Just like in ARP, the end device must know IP to MAC bindings. Similar way here as well, the device has to keep a track of this. Now this is done with the help of NHRP protocol. So basically NHRP is also responsible for mapping the private to public IP mappings, or tunnel IP. We can also say like tunnel IP to NBMA address. That's what technically we call it as, but I generally use a terminology here, private public mappings. That makes much easier for us. But at the end, it is like NBMA to tunnel IP address. In the case of NHRP protocol, the routers can be configured as either next hop server or the next hop clients. So basically the hub router, we call it as next hop server, and the spokes, we call them as next hop clients. So the job of the next hop client is, like let's say this is a spoke, so every spoke has to register itself with the hub. So it uses something called NHRP register messages. So with the help of these messages, the client has to register itself with the hub. Like the hub is going to keep a track of what is the spoke. Let's say we have a spoke 1, and what is the public IP? Public IP, let's say 2.2.2.2 here. And what is the tunnel IP? The tunnel IP, let's say 192.168.1.2. But now the question is how the spoke will come to know about this, how the hub is going to come to know about the spoke information with the help of some messages. And that's what this NHRP messages. So the hub is like going to keep a track of the spokes information. So it uses some kind of register messages. Like every spoke has to send out a register messages saying that this is my public IP or the WAN IP and this is the tunnel IP. So based on that, the hub is going to keep the information. Similar way, the spoke 2 also, we have a spoke 2, let's say 3.3.3.3, that is the public IP, and the WAN or the tunnel IP address is 192.168.1.3. So the hub router or the next hop server is responsible for keeping a record of the mappings, the public IP to private IP mappings, or the NBMA address to the tunnel IP address mappings. So these mappings can be either built dynamically. So dynamically the spokes can send out a register messages to update their own information to the hub, or we can also configure manually as well. So you can still manually configure the mapping statements as well. So if you try to see the messages, basically there are 4 to 5 different types of messages. So the first message is like NHRP registration request and the replies. Now the registration request is sent by the spoke. Now the spoke is going to send out a register messages as I just explained. It's going to send out a register messages saying that this is my public IP or the WAN IP and this is my tunnel IP address. So based on this, the spoke, the hub is going to keep a track that if I have to send any information to the next hop 192.168.1.2, then the public IP should be 2.2.2.2. Similar way, this spoke is going to send out a register messages saying that my public IP is this and this is my tunnel IP address. So based on this, the hub will come to know that if I have to send any information to 1.3, if the next hop is 1.3, then the public IP reachable to this particular tunnel IP is going to be 3.3.3.3. So basically the spokes are going to send out a registration request messages which are again required to build the tunnels from spoke to hub. So based on these messages, again the tunnel negotiation or the tunnel is going to build from spoke to the hubs. And then based on that, the hub router is going to reply back. Once it gets register messages, the hub is going to reply back. It's kind of acknowledgement which is sent by the hub that I have received these registration messages. And this is, and based on these messages, again it's going to build out the tunnel. Again the tunnel will be established. It's like telling the spokes that the tunnel between the hub and the spokes has been established. So these are the two messages. Based on this, the tunnel establishment happens. Along with that, the hub will come to know the NBMA to tunnel IP address. Apart from that, we have some other messages like resolution request messages. Now the resolution request messages are being sent by the spoke. Let's say this spoke 1 want to communicate with the spoke 2. Okay, so the hub router is going to keep a track or the record of the private to public IP mappings. Now the spoke says I want to communicate with so and so network. Let's say there is a 30 dot network which I'm using here, let's say the LAN. And to reach the 30 dot network, I have to go via 192.168.1.3. Now the spoke by default knows only information about how to reach the hub, but not spoke. So the spoke 1 is going to send out a request, a resolution request this time, not registration. And this resolution request is requesting that I want to go to 192.168.1.3, that's the next hop, or to reach this LAN, I should go via 1.3 as per my routing table, let's say. And what is a WAN IP or what is a public IP to reach that particular tunnel IP. So based on that request, the hub is going to reply back. So this is like a replying that okay, to reach that particular WAN interface, so this is a public IP. What is a public IP? 3.3.3.3. So basically the resolution request is like the spoke is requesting the information about another spoke, the spoke 2, and this is being sent to the hub, and the reply, whatever the reply, that is called as resolution reply. So the same thing you can see here. The spoke is querying for the NBMA tunnel IP address for the other spokes, like spoke 2. Spoke 1 is requesting for the spoke 2, and whereas the hub router is going to reply back with that resolution request, and we call this as resolution reply. So apart from that, you also have one more message called NHRP Redirect. This message, will talk more on this in the DMVPN phase 3. Basically, this message is going to is generally used for spoke to spoke tunnels, which allow the data band traffic to go directly. So more on this I'll be talking on the DMVPN phase 3, because we need to understand phase 1, phase 2 before we move on to this.